because we're a bit late. Boom! You are live in the tube with Frank Shield and me, Janik, aka Truman. Pleasure again to be here. Today, Frank, we're going to go on with our book review. PT's book. Great book. Great book to start waking up some sense within you.
Yes.
Like exactly. If you're lost in the dark or in the matrix, call it whatever you want. You might be in very much darkness. Like we all been, like we all are pretty much in the dark. So that can help you to reach a certain light that you already have. It's already there. The light is there. You just got to turn the switch on. I always say it. So, Frank, we're going to start today with the service compendium.
Yes.
Servant art. Yeah, the servant art.
That's it.
I like that one. So I'll let you start, Frank, and I'll follow up with the French part, and then we exchange our opinions, our thoughts, our perspective. We exchange our perspective. It's better on the topics that we're reading. So, boom. So, yeah, Frank.
Let's go. Service compendiums. Let's deal with another swear word in modern parlance, servant, which is deemed okay in reference to made-up, inanimate, collective franchises like a football club, company, or government, but a complete no-no when used in context of individual dealings. The ancient Vedic literature called Puranas, which the epics Mahabharat and Ramayana are part of, can easily be called servant/service compendiums to make them relevant in today's world. They are all primarily aimed at showing how one should serve higher and divine, whether it be Hanuman serving Ram, or Kunti serving Durvasa, or various disciples serving their respective gurus. The primary emphasis of today's world is to get as far away from the servant/serving state as possible. That's why the peasants are trying to become government officials and corporate CEOs. Flip the page, only to find that they end up serving something or the other, not necessarily higher than them in terms of soul evolution. To put it straight, they end up serving the evil demiurge. This obviously has been propagated from what is now called the West, where the whole servant compendium was limited to how to be a butler. But the butler archetype was no real servant, as it expected things in return like pay, etc., and was many a times smarter than its master. The hierarchical system propagated by the West was not based on soul evolution, which was a given, considering that they occupied a very low position in spiritual hierarchy. Instead of humbly rising upwards, they decided to turn it upside down and put themselves on the top by simple methodologies like divide and rule and setting up money systems completely under their control to make others serve them. They conveniently forgot that any upside-down system has its fatal repercussions and a time limit. The sand is running out.
Oh yeah. Recueil de service. Occupons-nous d'un autre gros mot du langage courant, servant, qui est jugé normal en référence aux fausses franchises collectives inanimées comme un club de football, une entreprise ou un gouvernement, mais un nom absolu quand utilisé dans le contexte d'être individuel. L'ancienne littérature védique appelée Puranas, dont les épopées de Mahabharat et du Ramayana font partie, peuvent facilement être appelés recueils de services ou servants pour les rendre pertinents dans le monde d'aujourd'hui. Ils visent tous principalement à montrer comment un être doit servir le supérieur et le divin. Que cela soit Hanuman servant Ram ou Kunti servant Durvasa, ou de différents disciples servant leurs gourous respectifs. Dans le monde d'aujourd'hui, l'objectif principal est de s'éloigner le plus possible de l'état de servant. C'est pourquoi les paysans essaient de devenir des officiels du gouvernement et des PDG d'entreprise. uniquement pour se rendre compte qu'ils servent une chose ou une autre, pas forcément supérieure à eux en termes d'évolution d'âme. Pour faire simple, ils finissent par servir le demi-urge du mal. Yeah. Evil system. Cela a bien évidemment été propagé depuis ce qui est maintenant appelé l'Ouest, où la totalité du recueil de services était limitée à comment être un majordome, mais l'archétype, I think, archetype, we must say archetype. Yeah, it makes sense. Sometimes I have to think when I pronounce also the French word, because now I'm dealing with both in my head. Mais l'archétype du majordome n'était pas un vrai servant, puisqu'ils attendaient des choses en retour comme une paye, etc. Et était très souvent plus futé que son maître. Le système hiérarchique propagé par l'Ouest n'était pas basé sur l'évolution de l'âme, ce qui était une évidence considérant qu'ils occupaient une position très basse dans la hiérarchie spirituelle. Au lieu de s'élever humblement, ils ont décidé de tout mettre à l'envers et de se placer au sommet. Par des simples méthodologies comme diviser pour mieux régner et mettre en place des systèmes monétaires entièrement sous leur contrôle pour faire en sorte que les autres les servent. Ils ont commodément oublié que tout le système qui est à l'envers a ses répercussions fatales et une limite de temps. Le sablier est presque vide. This is big because this is exactly, you can be on the fence. You cannot be on the fence. Cannot be on the fence saying, oh, no. It's either you serve the devil, evil, demiurge system or you serve higher and divine. Mm-hmm. I think it's very simple. It's just we make it very, very difficult to reach because we always been programmed to serve the system and not, just like the police. I'm not talking against any of this. I think it's necessary in the world today. But even the police that says serve and protect, you serve. Who do you serve? You don't serve me. You don't serve me. You're supposed to serve and protect me. But in reality, you serve and protect an evil system.
Yeah.
And that's what it is because it's all inverted. No, I'm not. And that's what you come to realize at one point when you wake up, when you realize you change your perspective on things that, hey, what am I serving here? Mm-hmm. So then you might change the course of your existence when you realize that what you're feeding is just an evil system. And with your vibes, with your actions, with everything, your whole being is captured by them. So you are not free and you are in captivity. That's why people live in captivity. Their soul is captive, their light. That's why they live in the dark with their dark goggles and everything that's dark injection in their mind. They love it because they want the darkness. That's what they've been wanting all their life. Once you change and you don't want that darkness no more, you walk towards the light. It's very simple. And you take off the dark goggles and all the dark injection that they try to put in your head. Like, it's dark, the world, once you really change your perspective and you look at it for what it is. It's full of light, it's full of love, full of grace. But in your muggle default state, okay, it's not that at all. Because you see the world as you are often, most of the time. So if you are a muggle with no magic, with that and very much in darkness, you're going to see that in the world. Mm-hmm. And you're going to associate your behavior with that kind of vibe, that kind of dark vibe. So you're going to do, I'm not here to enumerate all the evil stuff, that anti-life stuff that we do collectively and you do on a personal level.
Right.
Just look at yourself. Take a good look in the mirror. Take a good look at your behavior, what you eat, what you talk about, most of the time people just blah, 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 and they have no clue what they talk about. Absolutely not. Like they have buzzword and they don't even, protein. They don't even know what is protein. I don't even know what is a protein. Like they talk to me about protein, about all that. I don't even know what it is. Like,
Mhm.
honestly. So
Right.
people just like to pretend that they know and pretend and pretend. Play pretend. Like when you're a kid. When you're a kid, you love to play pretend.
Yeah.
When you're a child, I used to love play pretend and pretend I was a cop or I was an army guy or
Yeah.
whatever, GI Joe or
Right.
Goldarak, and I had it all. So
Yeah.
I was very much pretending. So when you grow up and you don't get out that child state, that baby state you're in, you're gonna just play pretend again all your life. Look,
Mhm.
if it's what you want for your life, go ahead. What we're telling you here, PT's telling, and a lot of people are telling, is that there is something else than serving an evil system. You can serve higher and divine. There is higher and divine in this world. If you think there's no God, you're a fool. You're really a fool. Like, you're a freaking fool if you think there's no God. Like, what? Since when something happened out of nothing? Since when something come out of nothing?
Yeah.
Like, I don't get that mentality that yeah, you come from a big bang, but not the big bang they say.
Mhm.
No, it's
Right.
another kind of big bang. But that's where you come from. Yeah, but everything, they inverted it again to make you think that God is outside of yourself. That's why all those religion and stuff, and you will never find God in a church. You will never find God in a synagogue or in a mosque or none of this. God is
Mhm.
within. So as long as you don't look within, everything lives in your head. Everything lives in your head. God is within. Where is it if it's not within us?
Mhm.
Like, where do you think you're gonna find it? It's within you. So but that, Frank, demands a complete uh, flip of art. You gotta completely flip the script. Okay, you've been given a script to serve the evil system. Now you gotta completely flip that script because
Right.
you're gonna serve Iron Divine. But it's easy to flip the script. That's my point. It's not something hard to flip a script.
Mhm.
Just gotta want it bad enough. I always say, if you want it as bad as you want to breathe, like I think it's Eric Thomas says that, you gotta want it as bad as you want to breathe if you want to succeed into
Yeah.
something. So if you want to succeed into becoming a great servant of Iron Divine, you gotta want it as bad as you want to breathe because they want you dead as bad as you want to breathe. So,
Right.
and they don't want you to really breathe the good Asprana. And who says
Mhm.
that? It's Ralph. Ralph, take the good Asprana or something. I see that guy on YouTube, Ralph. Ralph Smart. Yeah, I seen
Uh-huh.
him a few years ago. Funny guy. Anyway, but we all have light to give to this world, and the light is what also would bring your servant arts to really shine. And yeah, that's my perspective on this, and that's really the sand is running out,
Mhm.
and you're gonna realize as you get older that the sand is running out. You might not see it if you're 30, 20 something, but as you reach 50-year-old, watch it. Watch
Yep.
it. Now you're gonna see that the sand is running out. And in my case, I gotta do something. I'm not dormant no more. They woke me up. Wow.
Mhm.
Now it's finished. The sleeping state and the being dead and eating dead food, but dead food again. You take an apple off the tree, or you take veggies out the ground, it dies too. Like, I don't get that thing that they say eat alive food. If you want to eat alive food, you eat a fish alive or a cow alive or something alive. But
Right.
all the food that you eat is dead anyway. You take it
Mhm.
out the ground, take it off the tree.
Right.
So maybe the life force is in the fruit and in the that I get it, but I don't
Right.
get the thing that eat alive food. Everything you eat has to be taken off the tree or something. So anyway,
Yeah. I mean, you want to eat fresh foods,
yeah,
definitely. Yeah. You don't want to eat
fresh,
stuff that's stale, stagnant, rotten,
fresh.
or like that shelf stable has been pumped full of stabilizers and like so it can just never rot. Basically,
Oh,
like
the other day I saw a video on how they make ketchup in, like, I don't know what country, but full of stabilizer and colorant. Ah,
yeah.
terrible, man. Terrible the food that, and sometimes it's even worse. I'm not gonna talk
Yeah.
about all the evil they do behind their closed door labs. But it's very dark and very.
And it doesn't have to. The thing is, it doesn't have to be that way. You can make food in a natural way, and it doesn't. You don't have to, put all this.
That's even another way that we end up serving the evil system is we eat their food. Yeah. We don't even trust our own self to prepare our own food. So we go to a restaurant. You go restaurant and a restaurant, and then you go eat your little meal, and you're all like it's so bad for your soul, because all this you could do it yourself, but there's absolutely no reward and no gratification for the soul in going to a restaurant. Like, prepare your own food, something fresh from the garden, from whatever. But that's it. The spirit is captive, so there's absolutely no soul, no light. The soul is the soleil, soleil, sun, soleil in French. It's the soul. It's the light. The light within you. It's your soul. But your soul is, you sold your soul. You sold your soul to the devil because all your behavior is freaking evil anti-life.
Right.
Look at it. And anyone that take a good look at themselves, I did, and I seen it live and direct within me. And now I decide to make a change because it's enough. Anyway, I could go on and on and on about that evil system, man. It's so bad, our state. We're so powerful light beings, but keep being kept in the dark, in such a low vibrational state that we can't even put a smile on our face when we see another being alive in this world. Like, you see people, you don't even smile. Like, I try to put a smile all the time when I see someone, but often, like, they have no eyes, they're blind. That's one thing I told you. Last time I checked, those dark goggles were for blind people. Now what you're saying is you're all blind because you all wear those dark goggles. Right. So you're blind? Now, take this off. Take this nonsense off. And look, take the light in. Anyway, those dark goggles, man, I think it's one of the main symbol of evil in this world. Okay? It's one of the main one. That the bad food and the plastic clothes.
It's like a sleeping mask.
It's a sleeping mask.
They don't want to let that, they want to stay asleep, so they keep their sleeping mask on. But you got to take the sleeping mask off if you want to start your day, if you want to get up and make your morning beverage and get out in the world and start living your life. You got to take that sleeping mask off.
Not only that, now what? You need dark goggles outside in the sun. What, God made a mistake?
Right.
God made a mistake. You need dark goggles for the sun because God made a mistake. Come on. Like, it's so nonsense. Anyway, Frank, go on with the service compendium.
Yeah. Yeah. I love how P really simplifies things, because as vast and expansive and as many like details of life that the Vedic literature touches on, because it touches on everything. P really is able to, he kind of like sees the main thread of what's happening in these epics, these stories like the Mahabharata, the Ramayana, and all these Puranas and stuff like that. And the theme that keeps coming up again and again is like, all right, there's these characters and they're at different levels of consciousness based on different like works that they've done and stuff like that, and different tales and stories. And the essence of those stories is like, how is a being who is still learning and still growing, how did they interact or relate to the being who is wiser and the being who has more connection with divine and more kind of like spiritual energy because of their own connection with nature or with divine? Like, what is the nature of the interaction? And if you behave towards them in this way, then the story goes like this. But if you behave with them like this way, then the story goes like that. So like the tales of beings like rising and ascending in these different kind of realms or awareness or spiritual powers and stuff like that is always in line with being humble to higher and divine, being willing to, and having that servant heart, wanting to be of service to divine. And then when the stories go the other way and this ignorance comes in and they act in disrespectful ways, and it might not be on purpose, it might even just be on accident, which is another interesting thing, that people will offend higher beings in these tales, not even on purpose sometimes, but that's why you just have to be on track and on point with like how you are going to relate to nature or to the elements or to higher and divine. Like you it's really our job in life to continue to divine up or culti love these ways of being that are going to honor and acknowledge higher and divine, honor and acknowledge the earth and the elements for how they support us every single day. We wouldn't be able to live here in a sustained way if it wasn't for the support that we get from, every single day we're eating the foods, the bounty, the abundance that comes from the earth. So we have to honor her, that goddess that we live upon, and say gratitude, Mama Earth, Bhudevi, like you are just such a wonderful goddess. All the bounty and the plentifulness that comes from you, our clothes that we wear, the homes that we reside in, the vehicles that we get transported from place to place, all of these resources come from this goddess. And it's so, and from her, that is through the bounty of divine, And so that's just a simple starting step, right? Like acknowledging these things that divine has put in place so that we can have this opportunity to have this life, to be able to learn, to be able to grow, to be able to work, to rise in our consciousness and our evolution. And ultimately you see that, like P is pointing out here again, that is like the moral of the story, that all the beings who rise to greatness, they have these qualities of like wanting to be of service. And that's such a natural thing, when you see the beauty and the exquisiteness of nature and the form and the function and the color and all this mysterious beauty, you want to be something that's like, I want to do something that I can either like add to that, or I can be of service to that, or I can, and it just makes your heart blossom, like it really, that is, you feel very purposeful with your living, your life, and your action when you're kind of in that mode. And the whole bit of like,
hey, Frank.
Yeah.
Purpose and purple.
Oh, like, let's see, where are we?
And purple is
here, purple.
Yeah, that's why I switched to purple, like I said, because it's the highest frequency color in all the spectrum on the rainbow.
Right.
It's on top.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Purpose is on top, just like purple's on top. Purple, purpose.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, right. But that's the whole bit that comes, and it's a very natural response when you start kind of like seeing things, when those goggles, when that sleep mask starts to come off and you start to see things actually for what they are. It's a very natural response to want to be of service to nature, to divine, to the elements, to God, So, and when you, like, for instance, what we're doing here, like P has gotten to this certain place of awareness, and he's gotten to this certain level of like, he really can, he's very discerning. He can see things very clearly. So like what we're doing here, we see that, we recognize like P has got this wisdom that's like so helpful and so simplified. And so, just really helps us to, find and live our purpose. And so we want to be of service to somebody who's putting out that message of positivity, putting out that message that really wants the best for everyone. P doesn't exclude. P wants, just in being able to share this wisdom, it's just kind of a guideline, like, and the bit of life and wanting to do like be of service to divine is like wanting that for all. You don't exclude anyone. You want that for everybody. Like you say, like if I win, everybody wins in terms of working to be able to align ourselves with divine.
I'm not done until my whole team. I'm not done until the whole team eat.
Right, right.
That's simple.
So this is it's a very cool P-log, and P points out, you know, how they flipped this whole concept of like everybody just wants to be like an undeserving thing where you just I want to get all the things that come from because if you think about like what P talks about, because he's, you know, he talks about like beds and couches and you know, how all these things are basically like disable you or cripple you from actually having like a movement toward like getting out there and working, you know, and all these kind of furnitures or things like that are things that you know, you would find in like the royal chambers, and these places, the kings and whatnot, right, the royal entities have these places to rest and reflect and do all this kind of stuff. Not that we can't have a bed, right? But it's just P's just trying to put certain things in context, you know. The thing is that like we don't want to become lazy, but what they've done is they've put out the image that like you want the things to come to you without working for it, you know, and that's never going to be the case. You know, everybody has to be willing to put in the work and willing to be of service to divine. I mean, if you just think about it rationally, logically, to make it to higher realms or a higher existence, this is just, you know, we're thinking conceptually at this point. You like to be able to get there, they want to see that you're willing and that you want to be a team player. You know, you're not going to be like, I don't want to play. I just want to, you know, or whatever, you know, like this negative and bratty behavior and attitude, which, you know, if you constantly are putting yourself into what they feed us societally, like the media, the music, the entertainment, is all subconsciously or very blatantly at times too, teaching you how to behave in a disrespectful way towards nature, towards divine, towards beings who might actually be able, you know, to be able to tell you something that's good for yourself, you know. And we have to, you know, start to quell, or we have to start to, you know, put down that rebellion toward actually doing what's good for ourselves, you know. And that happens, you know, to everyone.
If you do not question anything of your behavior, if you do not question your action, which is next, because action is paramount.
Yeah.
If you don't question your action, then someone else is controlling you. You're evil possessed. Like, I think, you know, that whole thing of being evil possessed is what it is. We are evil possessed because we go so much anti-life, so many anti-life ways. The whole thing is to, in our default state, we want to destroy the body the most possible with all kinds of nonsense, food, music, movies. Like you said, everything is to keep us locked in the dark. But if you do not question that signify you are possessed by something. Like, to me, it's evil possessed. Right. That's what it is. You know, they put it in movie, The Exorcist and everything. I've seen that when I was younger. And all those horror movies are for something too. It is an horror movie out there. Once you change your perspective, you're going to realize that the horror movie is real. It's really horrifying to see human beings being evil possessed. It's horrifying.
Yeah.
Like in the movie, but I see it in real life.
It's terrible to watch.
It's terrible to watch them.
I can't stand it. I do not like.
Sometimes I prefer just not to look on the bike path when I see them coming with their dark goggles. I just like, I close my eyes. It's horrifying, bro. Yeah. That's the horror movie. So until we realize that we are evil possessed, and God or the divine, iron divine, will make you question your action, will make you question things, will bring a certain state of awareness, which the devil won't. He won't. The devil, all he wants is to laugh in your face, and he will laugh, and he will laugh big time. He will give you some stuff to make you happy here and there, but then he's gonna turn and laugh in your face because all he wants is you down with low vibe and living dead. So, and you give into it, so you're evil possessed. I'm sorry, that's what it is. So next, action is paramount. I think that's the one. Paramount. It's a short one, but it's
powerful. I love the simplicity. Paramount. Action is paramount.
Simple. And in French, it's pretty much the same thing. L'action est primordiale. Primordial. Yeah, it's if you don't go, like, it's good to talk. You're gonna do this, do that, or be of service, but until you go in action, there's no vibe really that will change within you. It's action is paramount, and that's why we're here taking action. I take action like permanently towards higher and divine, and be of service to higher and divine, and that you can do it in many ways. It's not just talking on YouTube. That's our thing, but you can do other stuff to be of service. There is a lot of great people on a great track on life, and helping people on track is also helping iron divine and be of service. If we are all a representative of iron divine, okay, most are evil possessed, but they're still representative. It's just they are possessed by evil entities or evil vibe. Call it the way you want.
Right.
Your vibe is not divine, definitely, because all the emotion you experience are man-made, not iron divine made, like blissful and bliss and stuff. So all you experience, it's greed, jealousy, envy, and all the low vibration emotion that they give you in the system. So definitely, if you stay within that realm, you won't be taking much action too. But once you realize that action is paramount to your evolution, it's paramount to what? To your evolution. But until you realize that, you will not take action. You will just blah, blah, blah. Frank's on you.
Yeah. Action is paramount. I mean, this is 3 words, but so powerful because, action is one of the things that we have in our control, right? Like P says, and I don't know if I'll be able to get them all, but attention, where we choose to put our attention, that's up to us. What action we choose to take, that's up to us, So one of the bits of life is being able to recognize what do we have control of and how can we, direct ourselves in the most positive way possible to, take control of what we have control over, to be able to, do good for ourselves, add to the positive vibe of, living a harmonious life as much as we know how to, and so part of it is a process of learning, of seeking to find out what we need to do. And then once we start seeking, or once we start learning, then you apply that knowledge and that wisdom. It's not just this like information grab, because there is an excess of just information out there today, and so much stuff. And I think that's another part of the, thing that they want to just like dilute the whole everything, which is like so many different, this person has this perspective on this, and this is the way to do that, and that's other person's saying, this is, whatever, right? And there are so many different researches and people who are proponents of this and that often are funded, they're funded by these different entities or these different corporations or whatever, right? There can be, and that's what they want to add so much confusion to the bit, but the whole thing is, when it comes down to it, the truth is really simple. And that's what like P really helps us to kind of get down to the bit, the basics, right? First, you start, you become aware of the body basics, taking control of your posture, taking control of your speech, taking control of the food that you eat, and and connecting with nature and with the earth, with the elements. And this is going to help kind of boost or renaturalize your senses. And
I think we should specify, when you say connect to the earth and stuff, it's not just to say it. It's an action. Take off your shoes, put your foot on the ground.
The grounding. Yes.
Grounding. Take off your shoes. Once in a while. I'm not saying all the time. Maybe you need them, like, if you go work on a construction site.
Right. If you're going to get on a train or a bus or be in you don't want to be barefoot like all in those places.
That's it. But if you're in nature, take off your shoes. I always do. I step on my bike path, man, take off my shoes 15, 20 minutes, man. Just feel the earth. And often I lay down on my back with the sun over me and the earth below me, below, under me, below, under me. And I just like feel the vibe of the earth, man. It's such a great vibrational state that the earth has. Like there's a current going through.
Exactly.
So you are electric too. Everything's electric. Like look around. Everything is energetic, but it's just that's what they don't want to. They want to kill that energy within you, that sun energy. That so you don't go out in the sun and you put your dark goggles and you don't realize that the sun gives you energy. Not only that, when you go out and you connect with nature, that's exactly that. Is you look at nature, let nature see you. Why don't you want nature to see you? Take off those dark goggles. Nature will see you now because you will see it for what it is. So nature will look back at you and will come and nurture you. The earth is there to nurture us, not only with food, but with good vibration, man. Once you align yourself with the servant art and you really consider as action being paramount, yes, the earth will support you, definitely.
Yeah.
So, exactly. So next is control of action.
Yes.
I'll let you go on with this one, Frank. It's a good one, too.
Control of action. Action can only be controlled through an alternative action, not through attempts at cessation of action through meditation or any such.
Yeah. Contrôle d'action. Une action peut seulement être contrôlée par une action alternative, pas par des tentatives à la cessation d'action grâce à la méditation ou autre. Yeah, true. You have so much control over your own action, but for that, you got to be present. You got to be present within yourself, question things, question your own behavior. Because if you don't come to change your perspective on your own behavior, you will never question it. You will never control the action of your own being. Someone else will we're all mind control. Yeah, we're all mind controlled because they control what we think and they control what we do. So you are possessed. You are evil possessed in your evil state. So control your action. That brings the godly side of you to be alive within you also. Once you have that grip on yourself, that grip on your being, on your vibe, and no one else has it, man, it's going to bring the God within so strong. Like it's doing to me, it's doing to you. Like I've been here for 10 years. I've changed in 10 years. Go back in the first video I made here. It's still there. And now there's an evolution, bro. I can see it, and that's why I leave them on. I leave all the videos here because there is an evolution with Genic, Truman, whatever you want to call me. The name doesn't really matter at this point. I don't associate love so much with the name. It's just that's how you recognize me, Truman and stuff. It doesn't really signify too much, honestly, because I am a being alive. That's what I am. I am here on Earth. But even that, it's so confusing because once I go out and look around and I see that horror movie, it makes me really question our existence, and why are we so why we don't have control over our action,
Yeah.
and someone else has control. So yeah, definitely, if you want to, it's not also by attempting to control. You really have to take a grip, and that is on every aspect. So it's big. It's big. I get it. It's big, but it's possible. Why can't we take on something big? We're all big and broad and like capable of handling freaking anything that God sent our way. If you're willing to take control of your action, to have a grip on your action, on your being, you're gonna handle anything he give you. Don't be afraid. Why you're
Hmm.
so afraid? Why you're so like hiding? Why you hide? Like let nature see you, let God see you. Like
Yeah.
or I use God a lot. Could be Iron Divine, could be Krishna, could be whatever name you want to
Yeah. Yeah.
the source, to the source that have created all. Like
Hmm.
I don't know. Even for me, it's very confusing to talk about this, but
Yeah.
because I'm just a man on earth, and I know there is godliness in this world, but godliness is also cleanliness, like John
Mhm.
Serial says in one of his songs. You want Jaja to forward in, keep a clean heart. Keep a clean heart, but the clean heart is not a filthy heart with
Hmm.
evil stuff. So
Yeah.
clean up your heart, clean up your vibe, clean up your being. Instead of going on the wash mania and clean your car and your house and all that nonsense that you do, why don't you clean your own self of all that nonsense and
Yeah.
throw it out? Throw it
Hmm.
out. You don't need it.
Exactly.
On you, Frank.
Yeah, that's a good point to switch over on, because that godliness being related to cleanliness, and even the whole process of evolution. Like if we flip back to an earlier P-log piece talking about like the purification of the elements is a process of evolution, and the elements are the things that constitute the bodies that we are operating through. So the part of the process of evolving ourselves is purifying the body, purifying the elements that make us up. And so how do we do that? We take in sensory input that is going to be natural. We take in food that is going to be a more natural kind of food, and we get away from this like synthetic industrial scrap, because that's dirtying, that's fragmenting our consciousness, that's fragmenting our ability to just function
And
positively,
it's just
naturally.
to prove how the common sense is gone too, because people think it's food is in the restaurant instead of on the tree. Like the
Right.
fast food is at McDonald's freaking drive-through nonsense shit instead of on the tree. Like,
Right.
but that's so fucked up, man.
I know. But yeah, this bit of control of action. Um, so purifying our bodies, our senses through the proper action, that is something that we can work to become established in. But like P's saying, action can only be controlled through an alternative action. So once you find out what's giving you a problem, you got to implement what's going to be the solution. And so that takes a seeking, you have to learn. That's why the whole Ganesh principle is so important, and that's why Ganesh is so revered and honored in the Vedic um, way, because Ganesh embodies that learning attitude, that attitude that says, hey, you know what, I don't know and I want to find out. I want to be humble, and I want to do something that's good for myself. So once you start that journey of learning, you find out what's causing you problems, and then you find out what is going to be counter to those problems, and actually add to your health. What's going to be a positive addition to helping you to see life clearly and positively, day in, day out. And so, like P says, you can't just like be in a very ignorant state and expect to just be able to just go cold turkey and change your life. No,
No way.
you gotta replace your soda for something that's going to be like a herbal tea, or some water, or a juice or whatever, right? Something that's going to be natural and that's going to be beneficial to you, your own individual, because there's not one thing that's going to be good for everybody. Part of this process is learning about you, your own body. What does it work with? What natural things are going to be positive and beneficial to it? Because maybe I can eat a certain kind of food or drink a certain kind of drink that is natural, but maybe other people have different type of maybe an allergy or maybe some type of body that, it might not work for them. So part of this process is becoming more independent and just learning how to like actually do what's going to be good for you. There are like overall kind of blanket, things that we could eat or that we could say or actions that we can take, like grounding and all that kind of stuff. But also when we get to the refined details of, a lot. So just like the food that we eat and stuff like that, that is a journey that we all have to kind of like learn our own selves, So yeah, this is a great point. This whole bit of, action can only be controlled through an alternative action, not through attempts at cessation. So you can't just stop everything cold turkey. You have to be able to, and that's a dumb saying, cold turkey. I don't know. I don't like that, but you can't just stop your nonsense and expect good things to just happen. You have to figure out what to replace that nonsense with. You have to replace nonsense with sensibility and with, things that are going to support well-being, support,
it's so big because you have to change your whole emotional state too. Like let go of the man-made emotion, low vibration emotion, bring new high vibration emotion, bliss and happiness and permanent happiness, not just trip to Costco happiness.
Right.
Talking real happiness here, that just fleeting. There's so much fleeting happiness and vanity that we chase that think it's happiness. It's crazy.
Cheap thrills.
Cheap thrills. And you have to replace that. Really, just like the food that you eat that is no good for you, you have to replace it. And that's the action also towards Iron Divine. Once you start taking care of that body, because it's a bow for the the body is the bow and the soul is the arrow. So if you, that's it. That's the archer. They call it archer archetype. It's called close to archer. Yeah. Anyway, maybe that's the reason.
That arc.
That's it. The archetype, and the soul and the bow. I think it's all linked together.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. So definitely, action is something you want to bring to your being, but most people take very small amount of action that maybe bring some light, and the darkness is always stronger within themselves than the light. I'm not saying people have absolutely no light and kindness and love and shit. Because it's human nature, so it's within you, but it's being camouflaged by such an evil system, evil vibe within you, anti-life stance within you, that you don't even feel the godliness of your being. You feel the evilness, that you feel it, and they're gonna prey on you like crazy. So, and you're gonna become a prey. That's why you go in church and pray and this and pray and pray and pray, because you're becoming a prey. So why don't you give thanks and praises to the Most High and to higher and divine instead of the demiurge evil system? That's it. So next, maybe our last one for today.
We'll finish with this one.
We'll finish with action. We're staying around the same theme, and after it's a paradise and paradis au-delà for the next moon day, but we'll finish with action today.
Action. The word/term action has a very different meaning now when compared to what it has always actually meant from the beginning of creation. Action, for those trapped in mass muggle consciousness here, has nothing to do with consequences or continuity or coherence. Action to them is some general, whimsical, meaningless, scattered, disconnected burst of energy called activity. which doesn't have to last through time, do one, then do another, and so forth. No coherent context required, no sense of consequence. Well, such a definition of action can only lead to lowering of consciousness and descent into deeper hellishness. And what do we see all around here?
Action. Le mot terme action a une signification très différente maintenant comparée à ce qu'il a toujours voulu dire depuis le début de la création. L'action, pour ceux coincés dans la conscience de masse moldue, ici n'a rien à voir avec conséquence ou continuité ou cohérence. Une action pour eux est un sursaut d'énergie générale fantaisiste, éparpillé, déconnecté, insignifiant, appelé activité. You want me to repeat it? I'll repeat that one, okay? Une action pour eux est un sursaut d'énergie générale, fantaisiste, éparpillé, déconnecté, insignifiant, appelé activité, qui n'a pas besoin de durer dans le temps, ou en fait, une puis un autre, et ainsi de suite. Pas de contexte cohérent requis, pas de sens des conséquences. Une telle définition de l'action peut seulement mener à une baisse de conscience et une descente dans des enfers plus profonds. Et que voit-on partout ici? For those who can see, not the blind one, because the blind ones, they're even blind to themselves. For the ones who can see, that's what you see around. Mm-hmm. People with they take action, like I said, but always, and especially if you have no awareness of what's going on here on this earth, that there is, the evil is strong, but you think it's just in movies and stuff, and you don't think it's within you because you don't even think God's within you. And anyway, it's so, we're so lost in an abyss of unawareness, and that abyss is getting deeper and deeper and deeper because you do not question things. The moment you start questioning and you start taking action towards Iron Divine, real action, you start coming out the abyss, you start coming out the rabbit hole and go towards the light. You know, leave the rabbit hole. There's a lot of nonsense in this world, a lot of dark stuff, yes. But you don't need to essentially love yourself with darkness. You know, essentially love yourself with the light, with God, with the light, with the good stuff, that good emotion. And so you can feel good about yourself, not just pretending to feel good. Do you want to pretend all your life, or you want to feel good? Like, it's very different.
Yeah.
And it's a need that you have to feel good. It's not something you should want. It should be a need to be in bliss and to be like, come on. Because all this is also paramount to you, to your evolution.
Yeah.
But here in this world, in this muggle world, it's an horror movie to see that people, the action that they take, they don't think have consequences and stuff. Yeah, some action you take will have consequences in the Matrix. They will put you in jail or stuff, or give you a ticket on the road, or this and that. That's the consequences that they think of, but they do not think of the divine consequence of you ignoring your calling, because your soul records everything. Your soul is the recorder. Okay? So you have something in you recording everything from the beginning, and probably from the beginning of time. Maybe if I dig deep enough, I can remember other stuff, past life or something. I don't know. Now it's all conceptual, this past life and stuff. I'm here today on Earth, alive and present. That's what I focus on. But action, man. For sure, you got to go into action and stop going into like he says here, insignifiant appelé activité. It's all insignificant, pretty much, the activity that we go in our default state. Even when we travel, it's so low vibration, because it's not because you travel to Europe or you travel there and there that you will up your vibe. Like, as far as I'm concerned, people are traveling and come back, and not only that, when they travel, they go sit their ass on the beach or in Jamaica or whatever. They do the thing they do at home. They play on their phone. and drink alcohol and all the nonsense, watch TV in the hotel room and like very non-fractal building anyway. So it's there, man. It's there for us to we can enjoy really both sides, but once you enjoy Iron Divine more than you enjoy the evil stuff that they give you, the anti-life stuff, like non-action, just sitting and watching. I don't know. Sometimes it's just people are just watching a movie. It's like they watch a movie all their life, the Babylonian movie, and they do not want to be the one writing the script. They want to have a script given to them because they cannot handle writing their own script and taking their own action and stuff. So they are being mind controlled and their action is controlled. If they control what you think, because don't tell me they don't control what people think. Just look outside. Look at the people's behavior. So they control what you think. So they will control what you do.
Yeah.
And doing is action. So you will do action. You will go into action more for the evil system to inflate it.
Yeah.
With all the evil rituals also that you do yourself. Like it's not just them on Bohemian Grove burning bodies. I don't know what nonsense they do there. Or I heard all kinds of stuff, but focus on you. You are performing the evil rituals every freaking day.
It's a choice.
And it's a choice. I think, but is it really your choice, really? Or that's something I've debated with PT, I remember. Not debated, but I brought up to PT once. I said, do people really have choice? Do they have choices once if you're evil possessed? Like you don't even choose to be evil possessed. Like it's not something you wake up at 5, 6-year-old or 10-year-old or whatever and say, oh, I'm going to be evil possessed in my life. No, it just takes over your being. It takes over you, just like the opposite can happen. Also, God can take over you, your whole being, and He will give you the words. Like, you think I'm nervous coming here? No. I know I will find the words. I know because I trust in God. I trust in Jah. I trust in Iron Divine. And I know if I'm here, it's because I can handle it. So there's no fear. At this point, there's no fear, too, of speaking out, of putting your heart out in the world, because that should be what we all do. And we should all rejoice in love and harmony. And we live in love and grace. But in your default state, your muggle state, you don't live in love and grace because you don't see it. You don't see freaking nothing because you're blind. You're blind even to yourself. So it's very, very deep. It's very dark. And that's what I'm trying to make people see, is really the darkness within them and the darkness in the world and the dark stuff on the grocery store and all that. That some people see it now. I think it's very evident now. So they put it more and more in our face here in Canada. They even have labels now on food saying high in sugar, high in sodium, high in this. So you see, there is a trend happening, but I think all this is just to also to mess with your eyes, because that's what they want, sugar. So you tell them, oh, it's high in sugar. They'll drink it even more. You know, the other day, I watched a bottle of ginger ale. You know how many percent sugar? Like how many grams of sugar? I'm like, what? I used to read 30-something%. Now it's 57% sugar.
Oh my!
In that sweepy ginger ale bottle, 50, more than half the bottle is just sugar.
Wow!
And you tell me that that's good for you? Come on. We need sugar. You might need sugar, but from fruits. You don't need to drink it anyway.
Yeah. In balance, like anyway. The proper way to eat is about balance. You know. Yeah. Yeah. This thing on action, it's a great place that we've come to, and P really sheds some awesome light on it. And he has a really unique way to look at things, in which he can just see like what has gone wrong, you know. And here, like he's saying, he's like, action to people, to the mass consciousness, doesn't have anything to do with, because when you're talking about action in the context of action is paramount, or like I can change my life for the better, or however you want to see it, you have to look at it through these ways. Actions have consequences. Continuity of that positive action is going to keep you in alignment with divine and keep you out of hells, keep you out of pain and torture and like situations where you're like, how did I get here? I don't want to be here. What happened? You know, what went wrong? What did I, because, you know, we also have to always connect back that, like, you know, whatever situation or circumstance we find ourselves in, often, if not 100% of the time, is connected to, you know, our own part of our own actions that we took. That's what you were mentioning, the evil rituals that we do that keeps us cursed, you know,
Yeah.
but we can break the curse. You know, we can break the
Anytime.
curse through the right kind of action. You know, it's that you did the wrong action in the first place, so you're going to get consequences, which is part of that thing. And you know, the more continuous you are with cursing yourself, the harder it is to break that curse, you know, because it's just layer after layer after layer. You're in a thick mud, you know, and so you have
it becomes a generational curse.
Yeah,
From
exactly.
generation to generation.
I mean,
until
that whole bit with like DNA and epigenetic phenomena where, you know, you can change your DNA through action. And that's what the scientists and stuff have looked at. And there's some cool research behind that. I mean, it's hard to be able to look at science today because there's so much manipulation in it. But there is research and things showing that how, you know, implementing certain behaviors and certain positive actions changes your DNA and how your body responds to stuff. So, but yeah, this bit
you are bringing ease to your being by seeking truth within yourself, or wherever you want to seek it. Truth
yeah,
is, like, I don't know. Truth is the objective observation of what is. That's all it is.
yeah,
It is what it is.
it
So
is.
it's not very complicated. You don't have to look in books or library. It is what it is. It is what it is. But in our world, we don't see what it is for what it is. So
exactly. But yeah, it's like we exist inside of a responsive system, you know. So depending on what we do, our situation, our scenario is going to change, you know. And so we have to find out the things that are going to give us, that are going to up level us, that are going to give us, you know, the positive points. And so, like P's saying, he's like, what he sees is that people don't make the connection that action has also to do with consequences and continuity and coherence. You want to make those connections. So you have to be able to, because we're faced with so many choices every single day. So when we're in that moment of decision, we have to consider all those things, and not that you have to delay and just be stagnant and like, oh, I can't decide what to do. The more that actually you naturalize yourself, the more you work on purifying your senses and purifying the elements within your body, it all becomes, it's a natural flow, you know, and you don't have to be so mental about it. It's not, you're not stuck in your mind all day trying to figure out like, oh, am I going to eat this food, or am I going to eat this, or whatever, you know, like, or am I going to, it all becomes a very natural, just like how a flower blossoms, you know, like it blossoms in its own time, and it doesn't like it it doesn't have to figure out how to do that. You know, it is its own becoming, its own naturality, you know.
and it's very easy. It's just perspective. It's just because you don't change your perspective, you don't see what's poison in this world. So you go and keep consuming the poison. Yeah, that's it. Because you haven't changed your perspective and you don't see what's poison to you. But this world is very toxic and offer you very toxic stuff in that evil system. But as long as you don't recognize what's toxic, you'll probably keep indulging in it and go to the doctor and cry and get out the doctor's office and still go to the toxic aisle, because that's all you pretty much have believed all your life, that this is what it is to be human, to intoxicate yourself with nonsense and really become like you're not even human at one point. They want to even modify, like, the genetical modification, it's happening. Me, sometime outside, I wonder if they're really human, these people. Like, they're not real human. Like, they've been turned into aliens and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
the aliens invasion is here, bro.
Right.
Big time.
I know. Yeah.
So
P makes this,
because you're alienated from your true nature.
Right. Yeah. And then what are you left with? You're so disconnected. Then all of these things start.
You're disconnected to higher and divine, but you're very connected. You're very, very, you're grounded to the devil, man. You're like, but the devil will keep you off the ground. That's the thing. He doesn't want you to be grounded and stuff. So
Right.
That's it.
Yeah,
So it's a very different vibe once you see it. Like I said, it's just perspective. Right. Change your perspective, you're going to change your life.
Mm-hmm.
Simple.
Yeah.
So, anything else you want to add, Frank?
No, I mean, just, P makes the point that we have to connect action with consequence, continuity, coherence. If you don't, how he ends it, then what's going to happen? Lowering of consciousness, descent into deeper hells, and
you're
then, like,
gonna die inside.
What do we see around here? That's what's happening. So we have to start putting these, start making that connection, and so then that gives us empowerment, that gives us the empowerment to see things in the real way, and for us to be able to take the right kind of action. So
empowerment is even, I don't even, I think the word is even bigger than that. It's like, I don't even find a word to express the divine power and stuff, how powerful, like, it's crazy. And it has the power also to take you to another level. But you got to trust, because now your trust is misplaced. You misplace your trust. You put your trust in the devil system, in the evil, in the anti-life. That's where you trust. You trust everything that is anti-life. So start trusting higher and divine God, and he will take you on. He will lead the way, and he will lead the way, just like the devil lead the way now for you in your life. Maybe, I don't know, maybe not. I'm talking the masses here. Maybe like, not talking about me and you or people watching. Maybe you're already, if you watch us and listen to our speech, there's a good chance you're on the same road as we are. So, but I'm talking the masses. Definitely, it's captured by. They will want something from you, definitely, just like God and the divine wants something from you too. He wants you to start playing with him, and maybe that's the game we have to play. We were playing so many games with balls and stuff, and maybe we should, like, drop the ball, drop the ball, and that's what they do too. They drop that ball.
Right.
Drop the ball. Drop all sports with ball and bahal and giving energy to that nonsense, and start divine up. A divine plan for your evolution.
Exactly.
That's well said.
Take the action that will stretch that bow back and shoot you toward divine.
It's gonna shoot high. And that's the goal, is to shoot high. Shoot for the moon, because even if you miss, you will land among the stars.
Yes.
Boom. We're out. See ya. Next moon day.
That's right.
Much love, everyone. It's all love anyway. Whether you see it or not, I know in my heart it's all love.
Yes.